Welcome everyone to another segment of Tombox Talks. Today we have two guests. First off, we have the king of quality, the P in APS, Paul.
Hey, what's up guys? Paul here.
And the other guest is one guy that we actually haven't seen very much of lately, but he is the man behind the Basil Trice, the man jetting in the golden toilet throne. We have Yugimation's Cody.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here, and I want to bring you guys another video today. We got a lot of news for you guys, and just really hope you guys enjoy the video. Oh, wait a second, I'm on the wrong channel. Hey, what's up guys, it's Yugimation, Cody coming at you guys. Thank you guys for having me, Paul and Thomas.
Oh yeah, welcome. Now today we're actually going to go over an interesting topic that I think both of you guys are very well equipped to talk about. We're going to talk about collaborations, guest uploads, and freelances. And freelance definitely fits in your category, Cody. You've done quite a bit of stuff, I think.
I've dabbled. One would say, in a little bit of here, a little bit of there, But yeah, it's definitely something I would like to give any advice and or get advice on, because you never know what a single shred of evidence or advice could do for someone.
And Paul, you've done quite a bit of guest uploads and collaborations with other people before.
Right. That's true.
So time to get some insight. Time to actually let the other people kind of know what we've all been experienced, like what we have experienced and whatnot. So I guess I'll get things started. So let's start breaking down some of the expectations and myths that people go through. So when doing a collaboration guest upload, what do you think people are thinking? Like, what do you think people are wanting out of this?
Well, I guess I'll start. So I feel like with collaborations and stuff, there's usually like two kinds. The first is when a smaller channel reaches out to a bigger channel, and usually the intention there is, this guy's got lots of subs, or this guy gets lots of views. I can, really like kickstart my views, my subs by just having a video on his channel. And usually that's kind of more along the guest upload line, where it's not really a collaboration. It's just more like, hey, feature one of my videos that I make. And the second kind is more of a collaboration, where it's usually between two channels of a similar size. So it'd be like if, say, Olympia Yo and I did a collaboration and we both kind of contribute to the same video. I mean, it could be a vid swap, but with a collaboration, it could be like us both contributing to the same video, and that's more for the purpose of just mingling or cross-pollinating, I guess, our subscribers. And so I'd say those are the two different kinds. They're sort of for different reasons, but they are both for growth at the end of the day.
Yeah, Paul hit it almost directly on the head right there. Those were basically one of the two that I was also going to be saying as well. Getting the exposure is definitely one for some of the smaller channels reaching out to the larger ones, as Paul said, and then swapping ideas or maybe even creating new content that's never been seen before is definitely something that Paul also mentioned in the second one, when it comes to like the even subscriber amount or even influence amount that both of the channels would have. And when they collaborate and make something either new, funny, entertaining, newsworthy, or anything like that, yeah, that's when all that type of collaboration. So I definitely agree that there are those two different types of collaborations, one which is for the smaller ones, and then one more for the equal amount, or the channels
footing.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So what are some of the myths? Now, I actually kind of want to cover like some of the myths that people kind of believe. Like, oh man, once I get this video out there, I'm gonna be like super popular. I'm gonna be like subscriber surge all the way to like, I don't know, like. But then, I actually feel like that's actually not true. Like, you're not gonna get a subscribe. You will get a bit of subscribers for sure.
Oh yeah.
But it's not as big as most people may think.
That is definitely true.
Now,
sure.
I started. I guess I'll give my personal story, because Paul, you were my first guest upload that I have ever done. I've only done a total of maybe 3, maybe even 2. No, definitely 3, because I did one with Galactic God. I just remembered now. And
it seems that everyone's done something with Galactic God, because that's what I started too.
So, and like, what happened was my very first one, when I was very minuscule, very tiny channel. I think maybe 1,000, 2,000, about 2,000 subs. I did my first guest upload with Paul. It was a very awkward segment. I was teaching people how to be mean to other people, which was the BM segment. How do you embarrass the other guy playing Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And
Is that something everyone searches up on the day off of work or something like that? They hop on YouTube, search exactly that, and boom, your video's #1 on the playlist, and you know they get some advice, some tips on how to do that.
That's pretty hilarious. Now, when I went into that, I didn't I kind of knew that when you do these kinds of things, not everyone's going to immediately give you like the respect or like maybe even like the video because hey, this is not them kind of thing.
Right.
It's a bit of a surprise.
You're always gonna have those people who are like, well, this isn't so and so who I subscribed for. Why am I seeing this person? You always have some of those people on guest upload videos.
That's true. There's always going to be a little bit of just sort of intrinsic animosity in like a guest upload, and then it becomes sort of your problem to deal with, where it's like, do you sort of surprise them and make it a really good upload that ended up being worth their time, or are you just kind of another guest upload
that's definitely something I want to go into in terms of like some of the standards and underlying rules and whatnot. Now, see, when I went to the guest upload thing, like I doubled in subs quite quickly because I was so small. But the more guest upload you do, the slower it gets. In fact, because the viewers that you're getting are basically the same ones over and over again, so they basically can't start to, well, they basically know you and they know them already, and having a guest upload won't have any sort of subscriber increase in that regard. So you actually have to start to reach out to new people, and that's the only way to actually boost the subscribers any further with guest uploads.
Yeah.
So you mentioned myths too. I think like a big one, and we've kind of like touched on this already, but I think just the biggest myth really is that like you'll see the instant growth, and I think that these days, more so than in the past in YugiTube, these days guest uploads feel like they're maybe a little bit less effective in just getting like a growth spike. I'm not really sure what the reason for that is, or even if that's entirely true or not. It might just be
kind of true.
Experiences, but
it is quite true.
Feel that way. Yeah.
I would definitely say that it's definitely in the past. Like maybe a lot of people didn't see certain types of videos being discussed or topics or something that was relevant at the time. Maybe a whole lot of people weren't touching on those subjects. But now, since like we've had so many years of YouTubing and just different channels reaching out and trying to do different stuff, maybe there isn't too much different stuff that people can see nowadays. So maybe they're just seeing the same thing. It's like, oh, well, I like the way he executed it, but we've seen it before. Maybe
I agree with that.
Yes, I agree too. Continue.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, like, it's definitely true, because I don't want to say that the barrier to entry. The barrier to entry in YugiTube and like other things, but in YugiTube is a bit lower, and also a lot of content's oversaturated. So I have this thing where like, if I click on, say, like I look up a Metal Foes deck profile or something, and I click on a video. Oh, this is a deck profile. The thumbnail looks pretty cool or whatever. I click it, and it's a Wygo Pro screen, like a screen cap Wygo.
Oh yeah, one of those ones. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't, I've already expressed I'm not a big fan of like just screen capture videos. I feel like they can be a bit lazy. But the real weakness with those, especially when you're doing them as guest uploads, is that nothing visually about those really stands out. So if I'm guest uploading on some big channel and people watch this guest upload, there's already a disconnect because they don't see my face or like really know who I am, and then there's further disconnect because they're just seeing the Wygo Pro template screen, and just like there's nothing that's any different about this compared to any other Wygo Pro or Dev Pro or whatever profile that people give. And so then I'm already at a disadvantage in terms of like being a memorable person or a person that they would want to go check out and subscribe to.
Definitely.
It's basically the surprise factor is gone by the time they see the first couple seconds of your video, and it's like just a screen capture of YGO Pro or something like that. It's already like, oh, okay, we've seen this a billion times, but let's just kind of see what this person has to offer. So it's not really so much of the, oh, this is new, I want to sit down and watch this. It's kind of like a, oh, okay, just get on with your point. Let's see if you're even worth it or not worth the time. That's kind of what I'm noticing.
Especially in this environment of like, you only get about 10 seconds, right? Like, before people will just click away.
Yep. It's kind of funny when people put their intros that are way too long. Those I find hilarious.
Really quickly, I'd like to say that I'm actually not as huge a fan of like using intros in just guest uploads. At least not really long ones.
I would definitely not use a long one because it actually upsets the audience a lot.
Yeah, you got to get in there and like get attention fast. Like I just feel like, you know, your loud dubstep, crazy template intro is just like, people will just be like, I don't have time for this. Thumbs down, please.
Yeah, they'll thumbs down and leave. And the funny thing is, it actually hurts the uploader's reputation. Like, why are you showing me this? Like, maybe if it's worth their time, definitely show it. But like,
okay, I'm sorry to like keep cutting you off, but that reminds me of like probably what I hope smaller channels really take away from this regarding like contacting larger channels is making sure that your channel itself is worth them featuring. Because when I feature a smaller channel on, like, say, you know, okay, I have like 40,000 subs, right? And I feature a small channel with like 300 subs or 500 subs or something. If I feature this channel, it means that I'm recommending to my viewers that this is a channel worth going to, a channel worth taking a look at, like that there will be content that they'll like. So if I upload your guest upload and if I put up, you know, that video and people go to that channel and there's no content like to follow up with it, then you failed in a guest upload. Like I've seen those guest videos where, you know, it'll be like a pretty decent video and I'll go to the channel itself and the last upload was like 2 months ago, or like it's nothing like what they did in the guest upload. Like the guest upload some great cool skit, but then there's no skits on their channel, or it's a really great discussion, but their channel is otherwise just full of useless, you know, just like
Minecraft generic, Let's Plays type of
stuff. And so it's like, remember that big channels are like kind of taking a bit of a risk in featuring you, or like sort of going out on a limb.
Yep.
So that's something to keep in mind, is like making sure your channel has the follow-up content, so when you get this new attention, it's not wasted, and it doesn't make the big channel look bad for like directing his viewers there. Yeah.
It's
believing in you.
Believing in you, yeah.
Are you the heart of the cards, I believe? Now, okay, so aside from like guest uploads, I kind of want to go into like some of the freelance stuff. Cody, now this one's the spotlight's on you. You've done a lot of, you know, intros for people, and
he's only responsible for like 80% of the intros on Yugi too.
Yeah, I know, right? This guy's like, you're everywhere. Like I can't go to a channel without seeing you.
I really wish I had like any message or comment is like, hey, I want an intro, I want something like that. Like I wish I had the time to go ahead and do that, because when I first actually started doing the intros kind of like that, I first was approached by Mega Capital G, and I was at the time at like a really small channel. I think maybe 1,500 subs, because my channel had just started, but I was actually surprised to see the growth of it, since no one had technically done any Yu-Gi-Oh animations aside from like the actual cartoons yet. But when I got that response, I was like, oh my goodness, someone with this many subs wants me to do something for them. It's like, imagine what that will do for my channel as well. Like obviously doing kind of like what you know or what you're kind of good at will of course enhance your skills or anything when it comes to what they're asking for. But now your name or your look is now on that larger person's channel. That's what really drove me to kind of like accept that first one and then really start doing is like, oh, you know what, this is pretty cool. I get a bunch of subscribers from these different people, and I get to add like all these intros to my online portfolio of intros. So let's keep on doing this. And that was kind of like my thinking going into that.
I have a question for you actually about that.
Yeah.
I know, so, you know, like moving forward, since you're kind of into, you know, animation and like digital media and design and stuff like that, you've probably learned over the years that like charging for your work becomes standard fare. You know,
absolutely.
like
Yes.
But while younger, a lot of people don't know that. And I know you've made some intros and stuff like years ago. What would you say, or if at all, have you like ever regretted sort of not charging enough because you were maybe naive at that point, or like have you ever felt like you've done work maybe for less than you think your value was worth, if that makes sense?
I think when it comes to anything art related, or basically anything in general, of something that you've put a lot of time into and then you charge a certain amount, I think at some point there's always going to be well, I think I could have gotten a little bit more from my time and efforts, or maybe perhaps I didn't charge enough. So yeah, there has been projects in the past where I kind of thought it was like, oh well, it did take a little longer than expected just because I didn't like estimate how difficult a project would be, and I wish perhaps I did charge just a little bit more. But you know, it's just part of the learning curve that especially artists or anyone who has a skill set learns and goes through. I mean, you're not going to go right off the bat, like straight out of school or still in high school or anything like that, and start charging like professional prices. No one will. Yes. No one will pay for that. No one will expect like professional quality work from you right off the bat. There's learnings and steps and like customer service that you have to take into account that maybe you just don't have the skill set yet, or maybe you and the person that you're dealing with don't know how this exchange is going to go. So I definitely think it's a learning curve for anyone who has a skill set that others would want to commission for.
See, I want to step in here, and I agree with everything you said, and I've done some of the stuff as well, commissioning stuff and whatnot, and it is very interesting of how like people don't really understand the business side of things when it comes to doing these things. Like a lot of people kind of expect
that's very true.
Oh, maybe it'll just be $20 and I'll pay you $20 to make me mad. Like to some people, like to some professionals, that's actually quite insulting because
it really, I would imagine it is, isn't it?
It's like some people can actually take offense to that. I mean, I would basically ignore you, right?
YouTubers especially, and I mean, like, I'm not gonna call shots, nothing like that. But I do think
throwing shade here.
I do think the YouTube's a bit of a micro niche, right? But I do think that YouTubers they don't seem as familiar, or they seem a bit more foreign to the idea of like investing in their brands. So when Cody makes people an intro, or like when Tombox makes me like, these caricatures that I've used on my channel, it's not like, oh, hey, I'd want a new banner. Who wants to like make me one? Because the thing is, in like 2010 or 12 or whatever, that was like actually common fare. If you were a large YouTuber, you could just sort of
ask for things,
push your influence, and there would be some small guy hoping to like, oh, like if I make Mega Capital G or Underworld 666 whatever, if I make him an intro, or if I make him a banner, like I'll be cool and like all this stuff.
Maybe
and, like,
I'll be, that kind of falls under the lines of the myths, right? I mean, I'll get a lot of subscribers because of it. But the honest truth is, it doesn't work out that way. Like you'll maybe get like 100 plus ish. You're not gonna hit the thousands because of it, because shoutouts don't exactly.
They don't go far.
They don't go far. That's for sure. Like I would say, according to my analytics, only like 3% of people would actually click the description links, unless you directly tell them to go click it because there's something in it for them.
If you want to see the rest of this video, click the link in the description type of thing.
Yeah,
people
actually, that's kind of interesting.
So I do think that that's like a weakness for you guys who do freelance. It's not your weakness. It's other kind of people's weakness, and not recognizing like you gotta pay. Like it's people's time, and you're investing in your brand. Like it's,
Think about how long it takes. Like even if you consider someone's like basic minimum wage per hour, how many hours do you spend? If you're offering someone $20, and I don't even know what's the minimum wage. Say the minimum wage is $10. You're saying he's only putting 2 hours into your piece of work. Well, if you pay them $20, then they'll give you $20 worth of quality.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Here's your sketch, and I signed it at the bottom, so that way you can resell it in the future when I'm super famous and popular. But it's so much as the people don't necessarily know what goes into the skill set that freelance people have.
I like that you use that word, the skill set, because I think one of the important things to keep in mind when you're approaching someone to like draw you a playmat or make you an intro is like you have to accept the fact that they have a skill that you don't. So that alone means that you're going to just have to pay. Like, it's people who are like, oh, you don't want to make me like a free banner? Well, fine, like I'll find blah blah blah. But like you can't. It's the person that you came to them because they're good and they have skills that you don't have. You don't know how to use Illustrator. You don't know how to use Photoshop. You can't use After Effects. You can't use Flash. Like that alone means you're gonna have to pay, and you should like come into that expecting it.
Or you should go learn it. It's not that hard, to be honest.
Put in a few years to go learn it yourself, and then not even be good by the end of it, and let's see how that fares out.
I mean, I have about 10 years of Photoshop experience by now. About 7 years of Illustrator. I don't know.
No matter what set of skills someone is at, you can always learn more.
Exactly. I don't even know everything.
There's no cap to learning.
There is no cap.
I mean, there's going to be like shortcuts or keys or perhaps...
There are keys.
The hotkeys. I don't even know all the hotkeys from my stupid computer or anything like that. So the minute like I learned that, it's like, oh, okay, I'll jot that down. There's a billion other things I still need to learn to no one will ever say that I've mastered such and such program or I've mastered such and such.
They're too naive if they think that you have done that. But okay, now moving on to some other things regarding swaps and whatnot. Say I was a smaller channel, how would I reach out to big giant channels like you guys? Like, what is the most appropriate way? I know the most annoying thing for people to do is to leave a comment and expect some sort of reply and then kind of start like spamming that same message. Like, what's the appropriate channel to actually reach out? Like
these days, it's so much more difficult because like the larger your channel gets, the more just the volume of spam. And it gets to the point where like just filtering through it all means that you just won't reach everything or you just won't feel like responding to everything. Right. And so many people just kind of use the template. Hey, I'm a really big fan of your channel. No, you're not. You like found it today. Like I blah 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 blah. Like, would you mind doing a guest upload? Here's my here's my channel. And like they just spam a link. And so it's just at some point I've become desensitized to it, where it's just like I'm just not even gonna read these
template cover letter.
Really, it kind of takes reaching out to, at least for me, I prefer when a channel sort of has, there's two things, and I'll be quick about them. So the first I would say is social media is kind of a good way to like reach out while seeming a bit different. So like if someone tweets at me, because I'm pretty active on Twitter, if someone like tweets at me or whatever, I tend to notice it more, like I process it more in my head as like, oh, this is an actual person who wants to reach out. Same with like the Facebook fan page. Like if people message me there, I tend to be more receptive.
Prepare to get a lot of spam on those channels.
Following morning, Paul wakes up to 100 messages of can I get a guest upload?
And then I'd say the second thing. Yeah. Oh god, I can't wait. The second thing I would say is, and this can go wrong too, but it's a good general piece of advice, is if you're a frequent viewer on their channel and you make it known, they'll usually recognize your name when you send them the message. So like if I've been commenting on all of Galactic God's videos for the past like several months, we're not talking like, oh, I did it for a week. It's like, if for the past couple of months I've been watching all his videos, I've been commenting with authentic comments, not just good vid, but like
two-word comments.
I do like the good vids. Not gonna take them away.
Yeah, I mean but like actually saying like, oh, this is what I think of what you did, or like kind of giving your input on the video topic or whatever. I recognize the names that consistently comment on my videos, and so then when they send me a message, I'm much more likely to be like, oh, I know this person. They're actually a legitimate fan. They're not just hey, just found your channel,
They don't just want something from you just because they found you and you're really good at what you do. They're more genuine. It's like, I've been here a long time. You've seen me here. I've attempted to communicate with you. I've even gone to the other lengths of going to your like social medias and stuff like that. That's the people that I would assume get more recognized than just a regular commenter.
Yeah, like we see the effort that they put in to really reach out, and it's like one of the hardest things is for people to reach out to us because we get a lot of spam, whatnot. We don't even bother. We don't have time to look through it. But I do, like Paul said, like I do recognize the people that are really engaged with the content, and it's always the same few names. It's not a surprise.
Yeah, you'll notice like you'll kind of just notice those names, like, oh, this guy tends to comment on my videos and they're legitimate comments. So if he has a channel and he finally decides to like reach out and say like, hey, do you mind doing a guest upload? It's like, I know who this is. This is a person, not, you know,
not a template. Not a template.
Not a template.
Not a random bot wanting to get attention for something.
So that's kind of funny. Like, if people want to reach out to MSTTV, I literally have told people many times, just message on Facebook, and when I get back to you, that's when I get back to you. And
right.
I actually like last time, like our last podcast, when people ask for review on their stuff, I do review their stuff, and you know, some of them actually have been pretty good, and some of them a bit too naive and a bit too I would say delusional of what they're capable of. They're just limiting themselves a lot of the times. They're just not believing of what they can do, not googling the answer is what I'm trying to say. But, I hate it when I have to say that. But yeah, so I guess that's how people reach out. How did people reach out to you, Cody, in terms of finding?
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing this too. Actually,
getting your intros. Like, did people ever pay for any of the intros?
Oh yeah.
I feel like the better question is, do people just come at you and just say, hey, will you make me an intro, and like have generally no idea what they expect? Because I feel like that happens. Well, no, I mean like, it's like the people who come to you and say, hey, Cody, make me an intro, and you say, okay, and then they have no preconceived like ideas for it at all, and they just completely just say, oh, just make me something. Does that happen?
Right. I've gotten both ends of the spectrum. In fact, like I think
the most detailed thing ever versus here's a blank piece of paper, put my logo on it, make it
draw
fancy.
Something on it, scribble on it if you want. I just want something for the beginning of my videos. No, it's been to the point of whoops, I just dropped something.
Oh no.
To the basic generic comments, messages, or anything like that. And most of the time, people can reach me at wherever I am. If they comment to me, I will most likely 93% chance comment back to that person. If like people follow me on my comment sections, almost every single one of my comments have a reply from me to that person, and some even have full-on conversations with those people who commented.
Good guy Cody, 2016.
Yeah. No, I'm not there yet. I'm gonna start achieving such achievements in 2017. But people reaching me on just any comment that I get on my YouTube videos, if they personal message me on my Facebook page, on the Yugimation Facebook page, I almost always reply. It's kind of gotten a little slower just because of more like hectic work schedules and stuff like that, but always expect kind of some sort of reply if what you comment or say to me is worthy enough of a reply at all. I mean, just don't say nice vid. I'm gonna say maybe thanks.
Okay.
But that's still a reply of some sorts. But when it comes to the intros in the past, I've gotten ones that were just people was like, hey, I really like your stuff. Can you make me an intro? And then all the way of others, such as like larger tubers. I know I did one a while back for Alentio, but Will had been asking for a long time as well. So I kind of had to, I promised him a long time ago, and I eventually did do it. But when it comes to more of the, is my time available? Because as I said almost at the beginning of the podcast, is that I would actually want to do intros and commissions and stuff for anyone who asks. It's just that what intros and art and banners and all that kind of bundled together that people don't realize that it does take a lot of time. And I'm not just working on that solely 24/7. You know, I'm a massive gamer. I'm gaming a lot of my times. I have other responsibilities. I work at a studio in Los Angeles now, thankfully. The Yugi gods have heard me. Thank you very much, guys. But like, there's all these other factors of time that I don't have enough of it. So even though I will respond to these people asking, most of the time it will be a no. At least I responded to them.
Unless they fork enough cash.
I have had people throw numbers my way that would seem very, very decent, but just because of due to a lack of a time, I have had to turn them down because I can't get to everything in a day, even a week, month.
Oh, you mean their schedule won't fit won't work
Yeah,
with you.
that what
I
they
mean, if there
want-
was more time, I mean, if someone actually gave me like a legitimate offer, I would accept. See, there are ways to actually for them to actually discount these things. If they're a bigger channel asking for me for some stuff, the simple way of doing things would be, I would actually like to reach out to your audience, because your audience and my audience probably around the same stuff. If we're both Yu-Gi-Oh related stuff, and you say you're triple the size of me, you giving me a shout out would be like me gaining additional 1,000 subs.
It is an
I don't
investment.
think I'm that
Easy. It's like it's actually a trade, which means I don't mind giving you that, couple $100 discount. That's fine, as long as I get something in return that I believe that is of equal value.
Right.
See, that also works out. So it's not like you actually have to pay the full professional fee in my regard, especially if I'm the smaller guy and you're reaching to me to get something done.
Right.
There's that.
But you have that skill set that person is looking to,
Yep.
that they, or whatever you have, now becomes far more valuable than what they're offering. So maybe like perhaps like an equalization of that in some certain
Something-
cases.
Something that I actually would say on a related note to, just the fact that you make a lot of intros for people. And this is actually, I mean, I don't know if this necessarily sounds offensive. Definitely don't mean it to.
Oh, don't worry.
But
It is incredibly hard to offend me. So shoot.
Well, I'm gonna try now.
I dare
I
you to.
feel
In fact,
as though the YouTube community actually needs more animators so that people learn the value of the skill. Like, I kind of hate the fact that, like, when it comes to, I need an intro, it's just like, go to Yugimation. You know what I mean? I feel like it would be nice if in the community we had some, like, just more people who made cool animated intros, maybe with different art styles and different different methodology. And so that way there'd be a little bit of competition, but also people would be more familiar with the fact that these are guys who charge. Because I think too many people just go on the whole, oh, well, Yugimation's cool, he'll make me one for cheap. But like, it'd be nice to see like there are 3 or 4 different people
Right.
who do it, and they all have kind of different prices, slightly different processes, different standards and such like that, just so
and then,
that
of course,
people
different
recognize
styles
it.
on top of it.
It's kind of funny.
Right.
Now, the Yu-Gi-Oh community usually go to Cody or myself for artwork.
Right. And I think like
it's kinda funny.
we're in a bit of a growing pains phase where like a lot of YouTubers are realizing, hey, it's 2016, like I should probably get someone to make me a banner instead of using a Google Images blurry, low res thing, or I should probably stop using templates and start using like, something I've made or something I've like,
Or make your own
freelanced.
template.
Something that's branded, something that has
Branding.
a personalization to that person.
I do-
Something that
So-
only they would have, not something
Right.
that everyone else can just Google and, I have it.
Yep.
And that's why I really do think, it'd be great if we had more animators, just so that there could be, like, I kind of hate knowing that you made 80% of the intros I see. Because in some ways it's like, it can feel a bit oversaturated and it feels like people just see you as the one guy, but like,
There is only one animator
Yeah.
in Yu-Gi-Oh, and that is Yugimation. Please go praise him and feed his Basil
Please,
choice.
please, people, I need help. I need more animators. I don't want to have to keep on making rejection messages. Someone else take the reins, or someone
Yeah.
else help me, join me, so I can reference you.
Yeah, that'd
Tom.
be interesting. No, hey! I'm not making any animations at the moment.
You better help me, Tom. I
Although,
need the help.
if I were to collab with animation, I would probably collab with you. I like your process, and I'm pretty sure I can follow your footsteps per se. Well, okay. Anyways, moving on to another topic here. Now, we're gonna go back with the upload stuff. Now, let's try to get through this pretty quickly since it is getting kind of long right now.
Alright, no
so
problem.
standards and underlying rules that we do not speak of, but when doing a guest upload, what are some of the things that you guys look for? I'm gonna start this one off. So I just want my guest upload guy to follow my standards in quality,
Yep.
maintain solid communication,
Yep.
respect my audience,
Yep.
and understand
That's
what I do in my business, and I need to understand what you're looking for too, so we can gotta get the best of both worlds.
Right.
I would say that some of mine, just offhand, same thing, quality, I feel like I don't take people who just do screen cap as a guest upload. Like, if it's off limits. I don't care. You have to, it's okay to include maybe some Dev Pro replay as part of your video, but I don't believe in just that. I tell them, you've gotta show your face, or you've gotta do some kind of discussion, things like that. I always tell people you have to follow up with the guest upload. Like when you do the guest upload, be in the comments and respond to the people. Like that's a great way to.
But don't start a fire in there.
Yeah, don't start a fire.
I've come across a couple that have started fires and burned bridges right off the bat with guest uploads. So if that's one thing, it's don't insult the audience of the person you're uploading to, because that is almost a guaranteed you will never have a guest upload again rule.
Yeah, and,
Right.
like others probably won't work with you because the Yu-Gi-Oh community is pretty tightly knit, and I'm guessing that's the same for the
YouTubers
Pokemon
talk.
too. Pokemon, Magic, people will
You don't know
talk.
how many times, like, just people like Will, or Olinthio for those who don't know that, but people like Will, like, he'll literally message me and just be like, hey, did you get this same spammy message from
Oh,
this
I get
guy?
that too. That's
Stuff.
hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
and-
fun share stories that we all have on
Oh,
that
yeah,
secret
and
group no
I'll
one's
just be
allowed
like,
to talk
yep.
about.
I was like, yep, I got it too. And like everyone just, so like, yeah, name spread. Like, you YouTubers talk, don't burn bridges. It
It hurts a lot.
everyone's watching.
Your growth will be stunt if you do screw that up.
Exactly.
And
I personally can't say anything when it comes to the guest upload, mainly due to I've never had a guest upload, and if I have,
I'll be the
it was
first.
like maybe.
I'll be the first.
Please be the first. My content needs definitely a boost in stuff away from just myself.
It'll be like a puppet show where instead of being
that would be amazing.
instead of being monsters, it'll just be other YouTubers having a conversation. Maybe it'll just be this podcast on sticks.
Yeah, you know what, Tom? We might need to arrange a meeting after this in order to get in contact with about that idea, because that actually sounds pretty fun. But one of the biggest reasons why probably I've never had a guest upload is because I kind of do at some points link my channel as a online portfolio, since I basically have all my animations within the past like 4 years.
Yeah, that's
there.
a good reason.
I guess
not
you
to.
do want the credits to be purely you and not someone
Right.
else. That is absolutely legit. Like, if you had a second channel, it would have made more sense if you had a second channel which accepted
Right.
the guest upload. Like, oh, hey guys, I do have a guest upload channel. Check it out right here. You guys can subscribe to that if you want to see stuff made by me or made by others, kind of thing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But
It's just, it sucks that animation itself, like even if I did like make a second channel, it would probably be either other random just animations or somewhat of a official Yugi-tubing channel, but it would just be that both channels would be conflicting again with time. Animation takes quite a while to do, and doing efforts now for 2 channels,
That's
it
killer.
would just be like absolute killer on me. You'd probably hear a story of some random guy in a chicken suit hung himself in a bathroom stall or something like that. I don't know.
I'll be like,
Some craziness might
Cody,
ensue.
no.
So people are just saying it's some crazy dude where everyone in YugiTube community is crying knowing that Basil Triss will no longer be here.
The only
By the way, I'm
the
not
only
suicidal.
the
It's just
only
acknowledging.
YugiTube animator ever.
You know, there
That's
kind of
hilarious.
was another one, Chris Keiko.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a artist for Mats a very long time ago, but he kind of more drifted out of the YouTube and YugiTube scene, I should say. But he has some amazing work, and he did have animation, but I've constantly tried to message him saying, hey, get to animation, do some animation, your stuff would be so amazing. And he's just like, I'm gonna keep it to drawings and traditional and some other digital aspects and stuff like that. So I'm
Sad
like,
face.
damn it. Yeah, so
Sad
there's
face.
my efforts thwarted to bring another animator into this community.
Yeah, this community could be really great, but
It
definitely
really
needs,
could be nice if
it
we
just
got
needs
a little bit
more people
talent.
with skill sets, like you said, Paul. Like we need more talent in here. Like a lot of people can make videos. I actually feel like sharing everything I do on MST TV just to up the quality bar for everyone. Everyone can do it. It's actually really cheap to start a quality channel, to be honest.
Dude,
I'm
people
not
don't
even
even
kidding.
know. I've got so much stuff in store just for like how much I plan to really improve the look and flow and presentation of these videos just in the coming weeks. Like I'm sometimes afraid that other people just have kind of differing perspectives on what's important to them with running a channel, because like you've got people like you, Thomas, who you know,
all the same,
who like really kind of present things in a very like infotainment style way, and you know, you've got like the really clean visuals and the assets, and I love it. But then like I feel like there are just many channels who just see it as, I just got to get the information out there through whatever.
But then that's
medium
like
possible.
when they do just throw the information out, I feel like they're not hitting the mark on representing themselves. I mean, their information is valid, but
Right.
it's a Google search. It's a Google search
Precisely.
link. That's what I feel it is.
They would be able to
I
get
just
that
feel like
information anywhere
there's
else.
far-
They
there's
just
far
happen to
too
stumble
little-
over you first.
Far too little care for like, you know, audio and visuals, far too little care for thumbnails, where, you know, like people just, oh, just Google images, whatever closely related image, just toss that up, that's the thumbnail, it's not even the right resolution. Like, and you know, just people really kind of aren't caring, and YouTube would be much better if there were more skilled people to just either provide these assets or whatever, or more people would be willing to learn. I don't know.
Are more people willing to pay for these things?
Yeah.
But actually,
like
I don't
that.
like taking too many of these projects, because whenever I take a project, I kind of put the channel behind schedule. I realize that it's a conflict in time. I need to constantly pump out content, and if I take something, it means it has to eat into my other time, and that's not.
That's why
That's
we
exactly
need
what
more
you can't do,
people.
right, Cody? This is why you can't do it.
That is exactly why I can't do it, and why.
And that's
people
why we need
basically-
more people, because so that it won't just be like literally one person carrying the weight of making intros, you know, like.
Or
it's just-
whenever a ban list pops up, my messages and comment feeds explode with when's the next band camp.
the band camp. I've been borrowing your term band camp for some of my videos. You know, just a shout out. It's Cody's punchline, not mine. It's just something that we
Everyone has
share in
free
the
use for it. It's
community.
the internet. Do you think I'm gonna go after them with cease and desists? What am I, Konami?
You could, who knows? Okay, so another very important note before we kind of sign out of this, like there's two more things I kind of want to cover, and maybe one little quick curveball question at the end. How do you maximize viewer retention? Especially when you get to
guest
do the guest
uploads?
upload. Like, you already got to the guest upload, you made the video. Now you haven't made the video, but you're making the video, and you want to maximize like the number of people that were going to subscribe or go to your channel. That is something that a lot of people do wrong, actually. They
What
just
would
like,
you say they should be doing?
like, here's the thing, like, whenever they do these guest uploads, they just do whatever they usually do on their channel, and that's not bad, that's a good start, but I believe that you should present your best work, at the very
Yeah,
least.
I'm a big advocate of 110% on guest uploads.
Try to be better than you normally are, because you're going into a bigger audience. That's like going into stadiums singing, I don't know, the national anthem. Like, they know who you
Right,
are. You've got
right.
the camera on you. You've got the audience, and the reason why you reach out to the bigger channels is because you want the audience, so you gotta prepare for it. You just can't do something, oh man, I'm just gonna spend 10 minutes making this thing, and yeah, people will like it or they don't. Well, you're not representing yourself well enough in that regard.
My two things, I'll be quick.
Well, I got one more thing, though.
Okay, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The second thing is to have a follow-up, which, like, when I did the Galactic God one, I
Yeah,
did
that's
it
what
as
one of
two.
mine was gonna be.
Oh yeah, I did it as two-part series. So if they want to finish up the video, make it like a longer video than usual, and if it's like a two-part thing, and like I did the top tier decks of all times in the timeline sense, going through every single top tier from the beginning of the game to like the current one.
yeah.
I cut it in half just because it was super long, and then I directed the other guys to watch it, and then it was super big hit. Got a ton of subs because of it, because it's like you're actually literally building that bridge for people to come over.
Right, that's a good one. And then that was going to be one of mine. My other one really is just interact in those comments. I know I mentioned it before, but like it goes a long way to do more than just, okay, his guest video's up. Go in the comments, you know, thank the guy for letting you upload it, respond to some people's thoughts, you know, be sociable.
Don't
let
be a
people know
dick.
that, you know, yeah, don't be, you know, like breaking bridges, but like, you know,
If you burn a bridge
fine.
there, you're burning, you know, people talk.
many
It's-
more.
Yeah, it's not. You're,
You're
not
just
gonna get
burning
another
one, You're
upload.
building potentially like 4, 3, 5, whatever.
Things are
whenever
gonna
the number
catch
might be.
fire.
yeah. So
Fire
that would be my
spreads quickly.
advice for sure.
All
I would
right.
definitely agree with both of you guys. Definitely putting your best foot forward. Personally, me, I would say when it comes to like the upload, don't like try and put whatever you have that's better on the guest upload, and then on your channel it might be like a little reduced or a little dulled down or anything like that. It would kind of be like put 110%, 120%, or whatever the percentage that you want to use into that video, and still retain that same amount of entertainment and quality on your main videos, so that when people see this guest upload, they're thinking, wow, this is really great quality, or I really like the way he did this, I hope he continues this. And when they go to your channel, it's the
Consistency.
exact same
Right.
like type of quality. Is like, okay, perfect, this is what this guy does, or this is what she does, so let's stick with it, and then press that fun little red subscribe button that all of us want everyone to do.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And there's another thing I kind of want to talk about. This is just because there's a giveaway happening. By the way, guys, I'm gonna plug myself in here. There is a giveaway happening until now, till October 1st, on Paul's channel, my channel, and Alenthio's channel. We're all giving away the Ghost Reaper mat. If you haven't seen it, there's a link in the description. And speaking of description links, make sure you have a valid description link when you send it to someone. Like when you do a guest upload, make sure your link is
I know what you're
valid.
gonna
I've
say.
had a couple dead links before, and it was kind of awkward.
Right?
Yeah.
Or it went to the wrong
Again,
person's channel because it was like a letter off or something. That was really awkward. And make sure it's
This isn't what I
description link-
signed up for. What is this?
Yeah, and like just make sure you have your links correct and all that stuff, because that's kind of important too. Like if you tell people to go to the description and click on a link there, well, make sure that link is working. It's something very obvious. It should be just common sense, really.
Right.
But
So
it
what's
has
this curveball? I'm interested in hearing this.
so this curveball. Okay, this curveball is if you had to recommend one channel you would love to work with or have worked with in the past before. Maybe a smaller channel, like we know we would work with each other already. We're like together right here, right now.
Speak for yourself, Tom. I
Oh.
want to keep to myself.
So you don't have to work with people, but who would you work with? Like I'm trying to give someone a little mini shout out right here, just because I believe they have potential to be really, really good. Mainly because they are so young. But who would you pick, Paul? Just pick one.
All right, so just one kind of off the top of my head, a person I've sort of been talking to a lot in the last, really for the past maybe year now. Team Innovation.
He's not that small though.
Yeah, he's not
I
like,
would.
super
Damn
small.
it! Now I have to pick someone else.
Yeah,
Was
he's
that your
not,
same
like,
one
super
too?
small.
Yeah, I was gonna pick
Yeah.
Chris. Chris
He's-
is really. I think his
Chris
work
is really
is
cool. He's definitely like, I feel like more than a lot of other channels, he really wants it. Like he really does want to like
I see
grow.
his
He's
effort. I see his effort like 100%.
Because like he's one of the only people who like I give him advice and he'll be like, okay,
takes it.
Paul,
He
I'm
actually
going to do this, and like he'll do it, and then he'll like come back and be like, okay, like it's working. What else can I do? And I'll be like, okay, well maybe you can do this. And like he's like,
He's a learner. He's definitely one guy that can pick up stuff.
It's definitely when you give someone or the person advice. In this instance, when you give Chris advice, he heeds it, applies it, and then comes back to ask for more. It isn't just thinking like, oh, this is the one thing, this is the missing link I've been missing, I don't need any more advice after this. Chris
he's
knows
always
that.
He's very
This is-
realistic, I think, in that regard.
Right.
So Team Innovation is the one. Is your choice. I guess I was gonna choose him too because I really like this stuff. But I do have another pocket pick.
Hopefully you
All
don't
right,
choose
let's
the one.
hear it.
I am going to pick Captain Tiger. He's pretty new. He's actually competing in the Nim Nim's Great YouTuber, I believe.
It's funny because I have the another person that's competing inside the next greatest YouTuber as well.
Well, I'm gonna kind of give him some, background for like Captain Tiger. He's very new, actually. I think he's really young too, and considering that he's able to pull off a lot of the technical quality that most of the bigger channels don't even consider. That's why I'm giving him a bit of praise, considering that he's a really young guy too, and if he continues on just continues learning and applying more and more stuff to it, he could just grow as large as anyone else that's like one of the major YouTubers, because I see him having potential to be more than just a YouTuber. He could technically just be a YouTuber. He just needs a bit more like charisma in his, a little more character, and he's got it. I think, I see potential in that channel. So you guys can check out his stuff. Like if I would allow someone to do a guest upload, maybe after he builds up a bit more, I would consider Captain Tiger. That's one guy. But if it was Team Innovation, like that, I would have.
If Paul didn't take it.
Yeah, Paul didn't take Team Innovation. I would have Chris would have just gotten a free upload right here.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely let Team Innovation and pass something, because he does very interesting topics. So yeah, there's that. And
what about Cody?
Yeah, what about you, Cody? Would you let someone upload on your channel?
Yeah, I would upload my channel. I would guest feature mine because no one else does what I do. I'm just kidding, guys. I mean to toot my own horn, but
but wait, just you wait. I'll just make a random animation.
I really hope you do. That means that I can throw the DT project on you, and I can go do other stuff like.
I know how much work that is.
Or Paragon.
I want to play Warcraft.
So, one of my picks would be, he's also competing in the next greatest YouTuber, is VMD TCG.
VMD, never heard of him.
Yeah. He is like super enthusiastic. One of the things right off the bat is that he has a studio radio like voice, and that like instantly captured me. So like just alone I could listen to the voice, no homo by the way. I can listen to his voice and not anything else, and I would enjoy the video.
Okay, so
and that's definitely something that I really like. He also has some great thumbnails, captivating ideas and topics.
Does he have commentary?
I believe so, yeah.
If he has commentary on games, I would love to hear some of this stuff.
Oh, on games. I thought you meant like on Yu-Gi-Oh! And talking about subjects and stuff like that. I know for sure.
I mean game commentary. I would like if he's got the radio voice. He has the voice that I don't have, and I wish I could have. I don't know. I can't even do an impression. And I'm just insulting the guy. I feel bad.
Yeah.
No, but I would definitely, as of this moment, want him when I do eventually get around to like another puppet show or something where I need voices. I would definitely want to collab with VMD TCG and get his awesome studio radio voice into the puppet show or any other Yu-Gi-Oh project that I try to do, and I definitely think that could definitely be a possibility for future projects.
I wish I could join in that. I wish I could join in. I could have an awesome
voice. In touch with my
it's
manager?
Not fair. It is not fair. My hair is crying. Anyways, I do that on stream. That's my whenever someone follows me on my stream, I do that voice. It's
I bet all the girls go wild over that.
There's this one guy, his name is FunFight33. I'm like, FunFight33, this is the 33rd edition of Fun Fight. It's hilarious. It's funny.
Absolutely.
And that's also my tournament yelling voice. Apparently, that's how you quiet a Yu-Gi-Oh crowd. Is you just like, "Attention, duelists! My hair is announcing the ruling for card X."
So and so is gonna announce the rules very shortly. People get your pocket calculators and decks ready.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I guess we have gone through basically all the topics we have for now. Hopefully, this is going to be a pretty long podcast. So if you guys actually listen to the end of this, please go check out Cody's animation, Yugimation. Subscribe to him if you haven't. Most of you probably have, because this is on Tombox TV. And of course, Team APS, Paul. You check out his stuff. Check out his latest videos. Check out, if there's anything to check out in Paul's arsenal of videos, check out some of his skits. His skits are really good, especially the ones with Trell in it. Hilarious.
Yeah. Hopefully I can do more of it. Yeah. Check me out.
And Cody, check out his DT storyline animation.
Which will probably never get done just due to time, but I'm working on it. But don't give up. Don't give up hope now. Hope.
Yeah,
it may be 20 years
Star
from now,
Wars
but it
Episode 4: A New Hope.
There we go.
Cody featuring Yugimation. And this is a Tombox from MST TV, Tombox TV. You can check out my Pokewalk video. That was just to make fun of. I made Pokewalk as a joke. Someone actually thought it was serious, but then someone else actually turned it into a business when Pokemon Go was really hyped. I don't know what to say about that.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, hey, maybe they can just use me as free promo. But yeah, I think that's about it. Well, actually, I missed one little thing. Before we sign out, how do you know what? I'll save that for next time. Anyways, this is Tombox Talks with Paul from Team APS and Cody from Yugimation. If you guys have anything you want to leave in the comment section down below, I'm sure I will answer it or forward it to these guys so that they can kind of give you an answer. But feel free to leave any comment. We'll respond to you guys as much as we can on like details of like guest uploads or stuff relating to the topic of today. And until next time, don't forget to hold on to... Well, this is not MST TV, so don't forget to close up the tombox.tv. See you guys.
Absolutely. Take it easy,
guys.
everyone.